11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you ready for the show? Let's go!
Starring Greg from My Weight Loss Life. Starring Brian from Wick Carnivore. Starring Aaron from Brewing Better Living. Welcome to the Low Carb Lounge. Grab a drink and pull up a chair. It's showtime.
All right.
Hey!
How's everybody
Hello.
doing?
What's going on?
Not too much. Welcome to the Low Carb Lounge. It's going to be a great night. Lots of fun, lots of drinks. Welcome everyone to the show. Hey, in the comments, if you want to put where you're from, we'd love to see it.
Hey, Alia.
Hey, yep, Alia, our guest tonight. She'll be on a little bit later. We got Allison here. Hello, Allison. How are you? For those of you that don't know, Allison was our special guest last week, and you can actually catch that show on one of our channels. Just go to the live tab and click on that show, and she was an awesome guest, and we loved having her on the show. So make sure you check out her channel and check out that show if you missed it. So what have you guys been up to? What kind of weather are you guys getting in your part of the woods?
Crappy weather. I'm ready for summer. You know what I mean? And I think, what did we have? Maybe, I don't know. If it was an inch of snow, it was a lot, but it didn't melt because it's 20 degrees here. So everything's a sheet of ice, and now it's going to snow again tomorrow. So welcome to New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. How about you, Brian?
I gotta admit, it's been colder here too. We got like 2 to 3 inches of snow the one day, which is like 2 to 3 inches of snow more than we got all of last year.
Yep.
And tonight they're calling for up to an inch, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, there's still our streets are clear, but there's still snow on, like, you know, the yards and that kind of stuff. And that's unusual for Virginia, really, because a lot of times it'll snow and then like the next day it's like 50 and it warms up, but it hasn't happened this time.
Yeah, here in Iowa, it's been really cold. I'll say that. I mean, a lot of times it's been 15 below a little bit. And, the last couple of days we've been around 10 degrees, but it's been pretty much below zero or right around zero for the last week. We did get some snow last weekend, and tonight we're supposed to get it like 3 inches. But, overall, we haven't had a ton of snow here this year. But when it hit. Now it's cold and snow. And usually, I want to say, we get in the first part of February, it can be pretty cold, and then the weather starts to turn. So, a couple more weeks, the weather will start turning, hopefully towards spring. But, we had such a late winter weather coming in. I'm hoping it doesn't make for a really long winter, and we're getting snow in April. And, we've had snow in May before, the very early May, and that's not fun either. So just going to share a couple more comments here. Hello, Mentor Jessica. How are you? And hello, Allison from Memphis, Tennessee. And we got Brad. We all know where Brad's from. He's about a mile from me. How you doing, Brad? Thanks for joining us. And yeah, frozen tundra. It's snowing again. Yeah, Southern Iowa. I know Jessica's down from that way. They had a lot of snow compared to where I'm at. So definitely. So just gonna say hello, Nicole. Nice to see you. Well, hello, Gail. How are you? Hope all's going well for you, Gail. Awesome. Well, just I want to do a little introduction, I guess, here. I should have probably did that to start with, but we are putting this on a podcast now, and I just want people to know where we can be found at. Aaron is at Brewing Better Living on YouTube. And Aaron, what's your is your channel the same on Instagram as well?
Yes, so I'm Brewing Better Living on Instagram as well. Also on Spotify, Brewing Better Living, and on TikTok, I'm Brewing Better Living. The only one that I'm not Brewing Better Living is on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and it's still at the Low Carbist there.
Okay, perfect. That works. And then we got Brian at Wikivore. Wick goes Carnivore, as he's also known as. Brian, I know your YouTube channel is at Wick goes Carnivore. You can find you there, or at Wikivore works as well. And what about Instagram and your other channels, Brian?
So Instagram is just brian.nowicki, I believe. And Facebook is Wick goes Carnivore, so you can use that. And Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it is at Coach Big Bry.
Awesome.
So,
good deal.
Right now.
You can find my YouTube channel is at My Weight Loss Life, and on Instagram I'm at my.weightloss.life, and I am on Facebook, My Weight Loss Life, and usually you can find me there. And like I said, we are streaming this now. I think we can be found on Spotify, our YouTube channels, or we're also broadcasting to podcasts on all of our channels, I believe, on that as well. So you can look for us there if you just want to listen to the broadcast, which sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's nice to see our smiling faces, though, or our funny faces, or sometimes we do that, but definitely. So I was going to ask you guys, what's going on this week? Anything exciting going on in your life? We'll start with you, Aaron.
Do I have anything exciting? No, today was like one of those crazy days, like had to go pick up the kid early because she ate some apples and her mouth started itching, and driving cars back and forth to mechanics. So it was just nonstop, but really that's about as interesting as my life gets lately. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. Kids keep you busy and everything else too. So for sure. How about you, Brian?
Well, so before the show, I made something new for dinner and kind of did some recording and so forth. So I'm going to have a recipe video out and after I get the chance to edit and so forth. So probably in a couple days. So I'm not going to say a whole lot, but it's a soup and it has ground beef in it. So I'll tell you that much. So that'll be coming out in a couple days, I guess, once I got to look at all the video that I did and edit it a lot because I probably messed up a lot and so forth. But
it's funny when you say beef and I think of beef stew and I think of was that the Sandlot where the kid gives them beef stew or something? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know.
I don't know either.
The guy passes gas and said beef stew and right in the guy's face. I think it was Sandlot. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if somebody knows if that was the movie or not. Go ahead and put it in the comments. But it made me think of that for some reason. I don't know why, but
Oh man.
right, because you didn't say what was going to be in it, Brian.
Yeah.
You know what? I did think of something that's going on this week, and I totally forgot. I'm sorry, Nicole and Christy at Former Fat Girl and at Meeting Wellness. We have a show together tomorrow night where we're going to be discussing all of our fitness goals for this year and what we're planning on doing moving forward. And then Nicole and I are actually going to start doing a show that's based on that and follow our fitness throughout the year and what we're doing with that. So those are two things that are coming up that I forgot to mention.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be exciting. Definitely.
Oh, Mike Shaw.
4 inches of snow, new snow today. You're getting hammered in southern Iowa. Awesome.
Here she is.
Well, I was going to kind of ask you guys, what are you drinking tonight? You got anything special? How about you, Aaron? What do you got?
It's very special. It's my coffee, but it's decaf, black. So trying to be good in the afternoon and evening, but just like that warm cup.
Yeah, definitely. That helps this time of year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Brian? What are you drinking?
So I've just got my regular water bottle. But this is a perfect time for me to talk about this new electrolyte stuff that I talked about last week. And I brought it with me here upstairs on the show so that I can show you on the show. So it comes, as you can see, just like you would get like from an electrolyte thing, right? So if you order it, it's like a 30 pack of this. And so it comes in like a resealable package, and then you get 30 of these, right? So these individual things, and then it's very simple. You just need water, so like 60 ounces of water. So I'm gonna attempt to do this here while we're on the show.
Is this a live on-air demonstration?
This is. So I gotta, let's see if I can get this. So you can see this a little bit better. All right, you can sort of see the bottle. Why can't I get that better? Well, oh. So anyway.
Come on, Brian, knock the microphone
All right,
over.
microphone's getting moved. Can you still hear me okay? Can you still hear me okay?
No.
All right. No? All right. So here we go. Right. You just take your packet and you pour it into your water. Please don't make it. All right. I was afraid I was going to have it go all over on me, but it did not. So that was great.
Blue color to it.
Yes. Then you can just shake it up real quick. Or if you just put it like in a glass, you can, just stir it with a spoon or whatever, and it's all set to go and drink. And you can see the nice color. So it's got kind of like a citrusy taste to it. Let me bring my microphone back over here now. So it's got like a citrusy taste to it. And it's the electrolytes that it's got in it. So the magnesium, potassium, sodium, that kind of stuff. And then it has the Cyactive in it. That's what gives it that blue color, the Cyactive, which is the anti-inflammation stuff. So
And it has kind of a citrusy taste.
yeah, a little bit of a citrusy taste, I guess. So this is what I'll be drinking here during the show. And this stuff really helps with just feeling refreshed and so forth, right? Or like if you've been working out, exercising or whatever, and sweating a lot, and you need to, reestablish your electrolytes and so forth. This is a great drink to use. And they say it's like the equivalent of like 3 big water bottles of regular water. So
Oh, wow.
it's good.
Awesome. For those of you who are wondering what I'm drinking, no, I'm not drinking a Sam Adams. It's green. It's not St. Patty's Day beer or anything like that. It's just essential amino energy, green apple flavor.
Wow.
And
That's great.
yeah, it's pretty tasty. So I had to put it in a beer glass to make it a little bit festive around here for sure.
I should have my coffee in my martini glass again, but I didn't.
There you go. Looks like we got a couple comments here I just wanted to share. Gail's last of your Topo Chico. Is
Topo
that how
Chico?
you say it?
Topo
Case
Chico.
last night. Oh, there it is, Brad. It was Bench. The movie Bench Warmers had beef stew in it. You'll have to look that up. It's kind of funny, as I recall. So
I remember that movie, but I don't remember that scene.
yeah.
You have to watch it again.
And let's see here. Got a few hellos. Hello, Simpson. How are you? Got a lot of people in here tonight. Go ahead and put where you're from if you haven't already. We always like to see that. Yep, bench warmers. It was. Gail's drinking some of this Crystal Gazer. Is that how you say it? Interesting. I'm assuming that's water. Is it a water?
Oh, the Crystal Geyser. It sounds like a sparkling mineral
That's
water.
what I would
That's just
think.
my guess.
Yep. Lemon water with electrolytes. Good. Carbonated water. Yep. Yes, I do know where you're from. Iowa. We have a few Iowans in the house tonight for sure. No doubt about it. Hello, Twin Maples. Some plain bottled water. All righty. I was going to say, you guys kind of talked a little bit about what you had going on this week. I've kind of taken it easy on the YouTube front. I needed to take a little bit of a break. Work, I've been pretty busy. I'm just kind of learning my job but I love my job. I must say, I mean, it is a perfect fit for me. I love helping other people. I know I make a difference for these individuals every single day, and that's what it's all about for me. So it's been a whirlwind, a perfect fit, and I feel really blessed to be where I'm at. So it worked out really good for me. So I cannot complain. Hoping to do some more videos coming up here over the weekend. And I'm coming up on my 1 year of my weight loss life, basically. So it's crazy. It's been a year and time goes so fast. And, I look back and it's like, man, I've accomplished a lot and I still have a lot to accomplish is the way I kind of see it. So pretty excited about that. But yeah, definitely.
Cool.
All right. Well, I think it's time for some special things going on here. Are you guys all ready? All right. Let's see here. What do we got going on?
Welcome to Lounge Lizard Trivia, where you too can be the smartest person in the room.
All right. Who wants to join me as being the smartest person in the room?
Are you smarter than a lounge lizard?
Probably not. Awesome. All right, guys. Thought it was time to do a little bit of trivia. So, and I did not share the answers with Brian and Aaron, so they're free to guess as well. And the first one, it should be pretty easy. We'll start you guys off to kind of easy, but here's the question. What is the most consumed meat in the USA? Go ahead and put your guess in the comments.
Do we guess in the comments too?
Yeah, you can if you like. You bet. Wow, it's really going. Can't keep up. Mike's guessing chicken. Let's see here. Here's someone's guessing some beef. Aaron's guessing chicken nuggets. I love that. Someone's saying ground beef. Another beef. We're seeing hamburger. We're seeing chicken, beef. Lots of good guesses. Lots of real good guesses. I'm going to go ahead and get your answer in, but I'm going to show it in a couple of seconds here. Once again, our question, what is the most consumed meat in the USA? And the answer is chicken.
Yeah.
So chicken is number one. No, Brad, it's not beef or pork. Sorry, you're a loser.
You are not smarter than a lounge lizard, Brad. Sorry.
Just kidding, Brad. I love you, man. We even had hot dogs for a guess here. So, nope, it is chicken. All right, guys, we'll bring in the next question here. How many pounds of cheese does the average American consume per year? How many pounds of cheese? How many pounds of cheese is consumed by?
Oh, are you kidding me? Aaron and I both said the same thing.
Did you? I was like doing the math, like, okay, how many ounces?
I was like,
how much do I eat a day?
So 40s, we got 3, we got a 5, we got 15, we got 30, we got 40.
I'm really curious what this is going to be. She said 42.
Once again, how many pounds of cheese does the average American consume per year? Go ahead and get your answers in. And the answer is 40 pounds.
Oh,
Ding, ding, ding.
yeah.
We had a few winners on that one. Boy, the guesses were all over the board on that one a little bit, but
You really didn't know the answers, by the way. I know that sounds suspicious. It was a really good guess.
Iowans know how to eat, right? 40 pounds is a lot when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily eat a pound a week. I didn't want to say 52. So, you know. Well, you don't eat a pound of cheese a week? Am I the only one that eats a pound of cheese a week?
You know, I probably am pretty
don't
close to that. I mean, normally, not so much lately, but before, yeah, easily I would do
I
that
eat a couple ounces a day, probably.
Yep, it's pretty easy to do. I mean, it adds up fast, so definitely. All right, we're going to go to the next question here. This one is kind of an interesting question as well. How many gallons of soda does the average American consume per year?
Per year.
Wow.
Gallons?
Yep. How many gallons of soda per year? You can call that diet or regular, whatever soda, you know.
40.
I'm going to go with it. A little less than a gallon of... Oh, no, you know what? I might take that back.
56, Brian saying 40, 72, Mike Shaw. Brad saying 100.
Yeah, I'm changing my answer.
Mentor, Jessica's 40. Twin Maples, 90. Gail, 150.
Too much. Too much.
Way too much.
It's true.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that I have 0 gallons per year, so I bring the average down. I do not drink any soda.
Alia is saying 38.87 and 80
Change to
and
80.
50. All right, guys, get your final guess in.
I like 38.87.
Yeah, that was the best
Yeah.
answer
I
right
don't
there.
know.
If she gets that right, that's amazing.
All right, and the answer is 38 gallons.
Wow.
Oh man, oh wow, Alia.
Are you sure
Wait,
it's not
she went over. This is like the
38.87?
Price is Right. She still doesn't win the prize. Who
She
came closest
Googled
to
it. I was
38
wondering.
pounds?
Cheater.
I was going to ask if she Googled it.
Here you go, Brian. How many pounds of sardines will Brian eat in 2024?
How many cans of air freshener will Brian go through after eating his sardine?
Semi-retired Bob says 85. Awesome. Like,
38.
yep,
Holy
38
cow.
gallons of pop is what the average U.S. person goes through. So do we want to do another bonus? We'll do a bonus trivia question. I put this one in here. Why not? It's rolling pretty good. How many pounds of coffee does the average American consume per year?
I bring that average way up.
So we're talking about the coffee grinds, the pounds of coffee.
Yep.
grinds?
How many pounds of coffee? Yep.
Oh, God.
Yep.
So I'm not a coffee drinker. Like, how much of that do you use in a cup of coffee? I have no idea.
I don't know, like 2 or 3 ounces. I mean, per
I'm
cup.
trying to
probably.
think of a standard size bag. How much that was? That like it's 12 ounces usually. A bag of beans. I'm gonna say what was the question? Did you say pounds?
Yeah, how many pounds of coffee per year does the average American drink? Consume.
So the soda equates to 1.66 cups per day. That seems low on average. I don't know.
Seeing a lot of different guesses, 10, 150, 28.
When I was younger,
Coffee's horrible.
I probably drank 6 or 7 cans of soda a day. So
I mean, one of those bottles is 24 ounces alone, right? Like your standard size,
yeah.
you know? A lot, but it is an
I can
average.
tell.
So.
I can tell you though, I drink as much coffee as I drink soda, so I'm bringing the average down again.
All righty. Once again, get your answers in. How many pounds of coffee does the average American consume per year? I think you guys are all going to be surprised from what I've seen on the guesses.
Higher or lower?
Here is the answer. 3.1 pounds is all.
Wow.
I wonder
think
if
that kind of indicates that not everybody drinks it, right?
Well,
there.
I was going to say, I wonder if that's what brings that average down.
I'm thinking as a coffee drinker.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's a
That's
5
not a
pound
lot.
guess. Yep. It's pretty close. Awesome. A lot of great guesses. I hope you guys enjoyed the trivia. It's kind of fun to do. It's kind of eye opening on, how much is consumed. It's crazy. All right. Well, I think it's time to bring on our guests. If you guys are okay with that, on our first guest of the night, let me get this comment off of here real quick. And just 1 second, everybody. All right. And our guest is ready backstage. Here we go.
Let's give it up for our guest, Alia Wells.
Welcome.
Oh, that's so sweet. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Awesome.
So I did a video last week about Coca-Cola, and I just want to let you know. So I didn't actually drink this. My son kept coming in here. He's 7 and taking little sips. But in this bottle of Coca-Cola is 66 grams of sugar. And not that I trust the FDA, but you're only supposed to consume 50 additional grams of sugar a day. So this little bottle is going to mess you up.
Is that the American version with the high fructose corn
No,
syrup?
actually, no. This is real sugar.
Real sugar.
This is from
Yeah.
Colombia,
Yeah.
So thought it'd be a good time to interject that with the trivia questions.
Very interesting, for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I just gotta get this. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, we got a couple people saying hello here.
Hello, friends. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel and what you're doing for the people who have not met you? Because I'm sure there's a few people on here that have not met you. I would think everybody would, but you just never know. But
You never know. And there's Brian. Hey, Brian. So my name's Alia. I am a mom of 2 children. I work from home, and I eat a lot of meat. I try to stay pretty strict to carnivore, but I'm one of those coffee drinkers. So whoever has a problem with that will speak now or forever hold your peace. But I'm not perfect, but I'm working on it. And I've been doing YouTube for like almost a year, and I've been doing carnivore-ish almost a year, and it's pretty awesome. So I highly recommend it because it will make people less addicted to this stuff. This stuff right here.
yeah.
And I literally, okay, can I just pause for 1 second? I'm so sorry. I should have prepared this before. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Brian, sing the elevator music.
I've literally had this stuff in my office for like a week, sitting right next to me, and I have zero urge to eat it. And this used to be one of my favorite foods. So I'm just bringing up, like, you don't want to put this stuff in your body anymore when you understand what the proper human diet is. So there you go. Literally, I think 2 weeks even. I just haven't had time to do the video I wanted to do, so it's just sitting here. There you go. There you go. I took it off the shelf so somebody else won't be eating it. Yeah, so I interview people on my channel. I like to do live streams, and I give updates on how I'm doing. And my story isn't like, I don't think it's like the most amazing, but I think maybe I resonate with some people being a mom, being sleep deprived for years, just, you know, in the middle of the night because your daughter's nursing, eating crap and watching Netflix. You know what I mean? Like I handled some years of sleep deprivation and I couldn't sleep. I bring that up because it sucks when you can't sleep, and then eating this way, it just resolves it in minutes, almost like so fast. And other things, I've lost almost 30 pounds. You know, it kind of fluctuates, but I love that. Yeah, there you go. And I love eating meat. I've always loved a good steak. I always love hamburgers like my whole life. So it's just taking like the A1 steak sauce off and not eating the ketchup. It's still awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go back. We'll talk a little bit more, but someone did have a question earlier. I wanted to go back and see if we can help answer that. Looking for comparison on coffee versus tea questions I've seen lately. What's the take on herbal teas, chai, hot LMNT, chocolate? Erin, maybe, you know, any of you guys can answer this, but Erin, I know she's probably more of our coffee expert.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
What's my take on? Well, I don't do the herbal teas. I'm allergic to some of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
Like chamomile, my throat will just go crazy, like itchy. I think it's the pollen. It's something with pollen allergies I have. But chai, hot element chocolate. I don't even know if I would consider the element chocolate like coffee. I mean, unless you're adding it to your coffee, which I do, by the way. But I mean, Alia lives where the really good coffee is.
I do live where the really good coffee is. I have neighbors, I have friends that have coffee farms. I just get coffee direct from them. And it tastes totally different than anything. Yeah, it's totally different. You like taste the flavors of the coffee depending on like where it was grown. It could taste chocolatey or fruity or nutty. I was at my friend's family has a farm, and I got coffee, and they have like a little coffee shop at their house. And so I went over there and I'm like, please, no sugar in the coffee. And so she brought me this coffee, and I'm like, this is extremely sweet. And this was even before I was on Carnivore. I'm like, they had to have put sugar in this. And there's like, nope, there's no sugar in it. That's how the coffee tastes when it's fresh and grown in similar soil to fruit. So anyways, I went on a roll. Here's my take on coffee. It's not really carnivore. It's a plant product.
Yeah, it's true.
It's my vegetable. It's my plant of choice. Same with tea. I drink tea also. I don't have a problem with chamomile, but you know,
You're lucky.
yeah. That's why. And sometimes I take some supplements. Like that's why I think like I hate the label carnivore if people are so significant about it, because then you can feel like bad that you're not really carnivore. But like, look, 95% of what I eat is steak and eggs and some pork, you know.
You know what? If the coffee is the worst thing you're doing, then you're doing okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I always think.
Like my daughter, so kids love pancakes, but my kids, they're not on the standard American diet. So my daughter, she loves like a pancake with banana. So it's just like pancake, cinnamon, salt, and banana. Or maybe there's like McCormick vanilla or coconut or whatever flavoring. But that's like her thing. So this morning she had 2 bananas and 3 eggs. I don't know if she ate it all. She didn't eat it all because she was trying to have me eat it. So my point is, then there's moments when your kids want you to try the food that, okay, there you go. But this is my confession. No. No, but if you just eat this way, you don't want to eat really anything else. And it's so simple. I did a short today. It's really funny. You can go check it out later. It's only like 5 or 10 seconds. And it's like the simplicity of a carnivore's fridge. It just shows like steak and then eggs on the top of the fridge. Hey, Brooke. Hi, Rick.
Yep, there's quite a few people in here saying hello. Hello, everybody that just joined.
You guys are all awesome.
So, Alia, can you tell us a little bit? I mean, obviously, you know, we maybe touched on where you live, but why don't you tell us a little bit about that and then also your channel as well?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I live in South America. I live in Colombia. I live in the coffee region. Why do I live here? Well, because I came here once and I went to Bogota and I met my husband. That wasn't the point of that trip, but that just happened to be that way. And we started a family. We went back to the US, and then me revisiting Chicago for a year. I'm like, nah, I'm going back to Columbia. Okay, I just went to Chicago in November. Rockford. Really, I wasn't in Chicago. I grew up in Chicago, but I was visiting with my uncle. In one day, it's so cold that my hand was like cracking from the cold. And like if I scratched it, it would be bleeding. Like if I accidentally like rubbed it, like I can't deal with that anymore. I was walking to the store today and I'm like, those suckers, they have so much snow up north and it's so humid and hot right now. No, I wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking those suckers, but I was thinking, oh my God, it's so hot right now.
Yeah.
No, like where you are, Greg, there must be tons of snow. And also Brian and maybe Aaron. I don't know. How is this snowstorm?
It's not that bad. We,
The most probably.
Oh, okay.
The order, just as we are on this screen.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Little, none.
Yeah,
Oh my
I mean,
God.
this year we've probably only had 8 inches total of snow, and most of
okay.
it's been in the last 2 weeks. So other than that, the snowfall hasn't been that great. The last week has been super cold though, so that has not been fun. But yeah, we have more snow by now. So either we're going to really get hammered, or it's continue to be a drought, because it's been very much a drought in Iowa this year. So this past year. So
Oh wow. Oh wow. And then your other part of that was like
yeah, tell us about your channel a little bit, and what you like to do and what you got going on and that type of thing. And then we'll kind of get into tonight's topic a little bit.
Oh,
after
okay,
that.
cool. Awesome. So on my channel, I talk to other like-minded people. I don't mind talking to anybody. I would happily interview somebody who's on the standard American diet if they wanted to talk to me. I want to talk to anybody about how they eat, because I'm just curious, you know what I mean? But I end up talking to like-minded people. And let's see. I do videos whenever I get an idea about something that I would like to communicate about. So I do that, and I do short talk about that on my channel, and I do live streams, and I have helped with that. And we fundraised so far like $100,000 for the Healing Humanity documentary, between super chats and his GoFundMe that he set up. So that's pretty cool. I'm very passionate about that. Like, even like I'm joking, like I'm not a perfect carnivore, but how I eat now, I feel so much better. And we should probably strive towards perfection, whatever that is for you. But if you just if we could just like tell people not to drink this stuff anymore, and they could believe us and stop eating the Doritos and start eating even whole foods. Like, okay, good. Do beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. You're going to just change your life. You're going to feel so much better. So I'm very passionate to talk about all that stuff and help on that project. It means a lot to me because I felt so shitty, for life. I felt so bad for so long. You know what I mean? Like, I felt terrible. If you go back to my earlier videos, I talk about having like IBS for years, never diagnosed, sleep issues. I was just so sad about my weight, and I couldn't handle it no matter what I tried, but really, because until I got to carnivore, I couldn't stick to anything. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard to stick to keto because there's all the keto treats. It's so hard to eat low-fat foods like chicken and iceberg lettuce salads because it's so hard to stick to. And now you finally find something that is like, wow, you can eat the stuff that people say you shouldn't eat and feel amazing and lose weight and get your inflammation gone. That's so cool. So anyways, that's why I work on that project, because I want to reach millions of people with them.
Yeah. I think that ties in real nice with the topic tonight about health and weight loss successes and how diet makes all the difference. And maybe you could share some of your successes that you've had and what your diet has done for you. Obviously, I know you're doing carnivore, and that's great. I think it's awesome. There's definitely a lot of different ways that people lose weight, but let's hear about your story and what it's all done for you.
Well, so when I started, I was sure that it was going to work for me because I'd gone down the rabbit hole of just researching Dr. Berry, Dr. Chafee, et cetera, and then watching YouTubers. And Kip inspired me to do my channel. I'm like, okay, I wanted to do YouTube for a while, and one thing that this diet, I guess, handled for me is the fact that I was so self-conscious and I didn't even want to put myself on a camera or talk because I didn't want people to think bad about how I looked. Do you get what I'm saying? So not that the carnivore diet handled that, but that was something that changed with doing carnivore, because immediately when I started, I'm like, oh man, look at Kip. He's so courageous. He's out there talking every day. He can do it. I can do it. If he can be there talking and communicating, so can I. So that's why I started my channel. But starting carnivore diet was like, oh, okay, now I can start my channel. I got a real purpose and reason, and I don't care how I look anymore. I'm just going to do it. So I guess it improved my self-esteem because I felt at cause over something that I was so not at cause over before, like the opposite, like being the effect of the food that I eat. Let's see. Handled all of my cravings for terrible foods. Lost a bunch of weight. Went from the BMI, now it says I'm just overweight, from obese to overweight. So that's nice. I've gone down pant sizes. You know, it's just so nice to have so much less attention on your body. I didn't realize, for instance, that sometimes I still get back pain, but it's way less than it was before. Menstrual issues sorted out. My cycle seems at 40 years old more regular and normal than it had been my entire life. How is that possible at 40? And I totally know that at 13, 10, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I was eating all the wrong foods that just set me up for hell. For hell in that department, for my existence. And so eating this way just changed everything in that department. Sometimes it's been, I always tell people, like, write this stuff down because you're literally going to forget. Handled sleep issues, handled my menstrual cycle, lost weight, not crying about my weight anymore, not upset about my weight anymore, even though I could still lose more. I like the way my body looks now. Well, how terrible is it when you like look in the mirror and you hate what you look like, or you're sad with what you look like, or it's so stupid. We need to not have attention. Like, we're eating the wrong foods and we have so much interiorized attention on ourselves, in our body, in our pain, that we can't look outwards and we can't create what we want to create in our lives. And so if you're like eating the right food and you're sleeping good, it's just a total game changer, and you have to find what's right for you. Like, I think people think carnivore is extreme. I think it's extremely simple and extremely easy. But if that's not for everybody, that's not for everybody. But find like the right thing that's right for you, that's going to help you and make you feel the best. I will say, you don't know what you don't know. And if you haven't tried it, you don't know how much better you're going to feel. And I think, like, once I finally give up coffee and get through any withdrawal of coffee, I don't know how I'm going to feel. I'm either going to feel even better or I'm not going to feel any different. But you just don't know until you've tried it. I hope I answered your question.
No, you did great. I
Okay.
think, that's pretty awesome to see all those, all those positive wins for you. And it's more than just scale victories, for a lot of people. So I was going to say, maybe, Brian, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask Alia or Aaron?
So not really necessarily a question. Well, maybe sort of a question. I don't know. But so Alia, I know that early on with your channel, and we both started our channels, I think, around the same time.
Yeah.
I got to interview you, and
that's right.
I remember you talking about endometriosis.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think maybe that would be a good topic to just talk a little bit about here, because there's probably females watching that might have the same issue.
Okay, good. Thank you. It's good because, like I said, it's not like I forgot that, but it's just, I don't know if people want to hear about it again.
Yeah, you want to hear.
Yeah, want to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, so first let me explain what that is. Endometriosis, the endometrium is the lining inside of your uterus that you shed every month. Yeah, there you go. That's the simplicity of it. It can get inflamed and grow out of the uterus onto various places in your body. I heard a story, don't know if it's true, that someone found endometriosis material in somebody's brain once, like crazy. So it is inflammation. I was talking to Dr. Kiltz a few days ago, and he said that we don't know why it's caused. So there's like an autoimmune aspect, but there's also a genetic aspect. So if you go back in genetically, my mom had terrible menstrual cycles, and so did my grandmother. One of the side effects is a side effect? No, not side effect. Symptoms of this is that you won't have babies. So the doctor told my grandmother that she was never going to have children. And then she proceeded to, I guess, say swear words and then have 6 children. she didn't listen to the doctor. She had 6 kids. Unfortunately, I never met my grandmother because she died when my mom was 7. But from my mom, she said she had terrible menstrual cycles. My mom had horrible menstrual cycles. Now, I don't know what they felt. I can't be in somebody else's body. It's hard to, you just hear that it's terrible. Terrible doesn't mean you're bleeding a lot. Terrible means like you're in debilitating pain and you can't do anything. Like you're in bed, like someone's going to come up to you and you're literally going to throw a knife into their heart. You're in so much pain. So just get away. Like axe murderer pain. This is what somebody else called it. Like, don't talk to me. Don't touch me. Get out of here. But you actually don't kill anybody because you can't move because you're in so much pain. But if you could, no, all joking aside, so I remember my first experience of this when I was 13 and I was studying, and my friend was like, "You look terrible." And I just remember just like not knowing what was happening and just like shaking and feeling more and more pain. So what happens is when you have your period, various hormones are running through your body to shed. That's what you're doing. You're shedding a layer of skin. You're shedding this stuff. But what if that same material in all these weird places it's being affected by the same hormones? So you're feeling all of these cramps in weird places and it's debilitating. I was watching a YouTube video so I want to say one thing. I have never been diagnosed with this. And I think many, many girls go through life, women, go through life not getting diagnosed with this because they think it's normal or they think this is just the way it is. It's 100% not normal. Like I understand there's some cramping that goes with your menstrual cycle, but it shouldn't be debilitating. Once in a while, I do get like an hour of like bad cramps, but I would have that over needing Vicodin, for instance, to not feel the pain that I would feel on this. Now, I didn't take Vicodin all the time. That only happened once when I was I had a dental operation. I took Vicodin and it just happened to coincide with my cycle. And I was like, oh, I don't feel anything. But then again, I don't feel my heart, my soul, and my mind either. So I don't know if this is the best solution. But if you have to take a narcotic drug to not feel the pain of your menstrual cycle, something is very wrong. And so fast forward, I have kids. I've talked to Nurse Kim. She's another YouTuber. And I went over this with her and she basically explained like when you have kids afterwards, it could be in remission. So I didn't experience the same thing afterwards, but it still was non-optimum. I actually didn't have a cycle for years because I was nursing and whatever, which by the way, you also feel crazy when you don't have a cycle. I'm curious, if any women in the chat, can you let me know, like, is your cycle normal in your mind or is it painful or do you not have one? Or is it like every few months? Like, I would really, really like to know like what it is for you because we are on a 28-day or 30-day cycle and it is a cycle. Our body is supposed to go through these hormonal changes. So then I didn't have a period for years after I had my second child. And I felt super crazy, actually. You feel so bad in that sense. So I came back. I took some supplements. I took some oils and I ate some seeds. Somebody recommended on a Facebook group. It worked. Totally weird. Good job, Jessica. I'm glad you have a normal cycle. Hail to those with normal cycles. Anyways, so fast forward to Carnivore, 3 weeks on Carnivore, my period showed up and was like, what? How come I don't have any pain? I do still get some ovulation pain. That hasn't like totally resolved. And that's kind of newer actually, maybe because I am older, I don't know. But the fact that I now, like, I know what normal is, what normal should be. even if there's a little bit of cramping, it's not debilitating. I'm not in the bed. I don't have diarrhea with I think I don't have diarrhea anymore. That's something, by the way, that's not normal. You shouldn't have diarrhea with your cycle, but it's another thing that I thought was like a totally normal thing. Sorry. Oh my God. You've got me going on bodily fluids.
Welcome to the low carb lounge.
Yeah, exactly. When you eat healthily and then you can sleep, the things that are supposed to happen in your body will happen naturally, and I think that's so important. So thanks for getting me on a roll, Brian.
No problem.
Great question, Brian.
So eat steak, eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, eat lots of red meat. I will. Okay. So this is like the punchline, I guess. During my cycle, throughout my life, the thing that I would crave would be like hamburgers. And you would think that I would have put 2 and 2 together, or sometimes I would say, I'm so hungry, I can eat an entire cow. You think there's like some subjective communication I'm trying to tell myself that I never picked up on, and I had to have it pushed down my throat from a bunch of YouTubers to figure it out.
Aaron, do you have any questions?
I have one question, but it's not related so much to what we eat. But I do want to say, because you were asking about the periods, like I had a similar experience when, and I'm obviously not a carnivore. I'm low carb, but I am all unprocessed. Like I eat very, very, very minimal crap. And the same thing, like there's a little bit of cramping sometimes, but it's not like it used to be. And sometimes it's like, surprise, like you don't even know what's coming because you don't have those warning symptoms.
Right.
In any part of your body. But I'm a little older than you. So like I have other stuff going on. So I don't have the typical
every 28
days or whatever. But yeah, I talk about this and a lot of other women say the same thing. Like once you're eating, like
it's
like
crazy.
Everything changes. Like you're not in that pain and PMS-y crap anymore. And all that, so.
Yeah, I love not feeling crazy.
Yeah. No, it's a good thing to not like lose your crap.
Yeah. And what's so funny is that, so we're eating terribly. It's affecting our sleep. Then our cycle comes and then people are like, oh, she's PMSing. And then there's all these negative connotations connected with women having their period. But if we just changed how we eat, we wouldn't feel that way. But I understand. I understand if you're in excruciating pain, you probably don't want to treat people badly, but maybe you do. Because like pain and anger are really similar.
You get it. But so my question actually was, I saw your video about your house. I'm so intrigued.
Oh, thank you.
It's pretty cool.
So we put on the ceiling, we covered it with like this bronzy sort of satin.
I love that. Yeah.
And that was basically between Christmas and New Year's. That's what we were doing. And then we finished cleaning. I didn't do much on YouTube because I was disgusting for like an entire week. So we're planning on moving there in March. So what it is basically it's like a family property and there's 3 houses on it. And the house at the top was always like the idea is that it would be ours, but the internet was terrible. So now there's like fiber optic internet so I can move there and work there. So but it's still an adjustment. I'm a city girl.
So now how does that work with, I mean, obviously you're eating like primarily carnivore, but how does that work with getting all of your food and everything? Do you
it's like I'm 15 minutes.
There?
You go 20
so you're
minutes
not like in the middle of nowhere.
No, I'm just up the mountain. I'm still like, we have to get a car. We haven't had a car for years, for instance, because we don't need one. We just take Uber, but we'll have to get a car. So we don't have to wait for the bus to go get food and come back or whatever. But no, I'm 20 minutes wait, but it is kind of like in the middle of nowhere, but it's 20 minutes to one city and 40 minutes from like a big city. So it's okay.
That's cool. Awesome.
I'll have to do some more videos.
Yeah, do more videos. I thought that was really interesting.
It was interesting for sure.
Thank you guys for watching it. We're gonna get some chickens. We're probably gonna get a dog, maybe some rabbits. By the way, I tried rabbit recently. I wasn't impressed.
Is it gamey? I've heard that it's gamey.
I don't know what gamey
I don't really know
means.
what. Yeah, but that's what it's gamey.
It's like chicken, chewy chicken. Is that gamey? Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have
Chewy
no
chicken.
idea how many acres it's on.
Oh, okay. So you don't know how many acres is around the new house?
No.
Oh, okay. It looked
Got
like
a
a
hell of a
couple.
view, though.
It looked like a couple, maybe.
view.
I mean, just where the
Yeah. Oh,
properties
the
were and
view
stuff.
is crazy. So the front is like a nature reserve. So there's gonna be no development there ever. It's like government it's literally like there's a fence in front of it. So I just get the beautiful view. Oh, I should get some ducks, except I don't know if they're gonna bite my kids. My daughter, we went to this restaurant where you could go fishing, and then they cooked the fish for you right there. And there was like geese. There were geese and ducks there, and something bit her. I think it was a goose. So that was not pleasurable. I don't know if I'll get ducks. Tell me, Rick, do your ducks bite you?
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Recently, you did an interview with Dr. Kiltz. Why don't you tell us about that experience? Tell us about anything you learned, how you thought everything went, all that type of good stuff.
I thought it went great. He's like the nicest, coolest dude in the universe. And he will do an interview with anybody. So you can find him on Instagram. That's how I found him. So laid back, so kind, so generous. I thought it went great. He had lots of good insight into like what I was talking about, endometriosis and PCOS and the menstrual cycle and people getting pregnant, women getting pregnant. And how our diet is totally connected to that, and what we eat is connected to that. Here is something that I love, though, because he mentioned something else that I was watching, that like being fat is not the problem, or having fat is not the problem. Like obesity, being sick is the problem. So my question to him was like, what's the difference? What's the difference? Like if you are so overweight that you can't do your day-to-day life and enjoy life and be a part of life, then that's a huge problem. But if you have extra weight, that's actually in the long run, it's going to be healthier. Like if there's war, famine, disease, and there's no access to food, the skinny person's going to die and the overweight person's going to live. It's kind of grim. So you're supposed to have extra weight. And he mentioned that he sees obese women overweight women, obese women getting pregnant, where he sees skinny women not getting pregnant because they don't have enough fat on their body to be able to have a baby. So when I had my son, okay, let me just lay it out. Let's lay the cards on the table. My fattest was probably 224, 225. I'm 5'3". I looked like a little balloon. My friend Mike, Primal Mike, he called it, I think he called it like volleyball status. I didn't take it offensively. When I started Carnivore, I was at 209.8. I'm now 183. I'm 5'3". I don't know what that is in centimeters. I don't think if people looked at me, they would say I was fat. I think they would just say that my friends used to call me a whole lot of woman. When I got pregnant with Jacob, I was like 150-ish, maybe 160. So a bit thinner, and still no one would have called me fat, even though I at that moment in my life didn't like the extra weight. But I will say it was extremely easy to get pregnant. It was very easy. I got off the pill. I was pregnant a month later. I love hamburgers. Like there's some connection. I wasn't eating healthy. I was a heavy smoker, but I loved hamburgers and I ate them all the time, and I had extra weight on my body, and I got pregnant super fast. Second, I will say I gained like 80 pounds. You're not eating for two, ladies. You're just eating for yourself. And there's like a little microscopic being, and then it's about this big when it's born.
It doesn't need that much food.
So like 11 months later, 12 months later, I was pregnant again after my son was born. So I was very overweight. And in that pregnancy, it was hard for me to eat. My first pregnancy, I could eat everything in sight. My second one, it was very hard. I lost weight. Baby came out perfect. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, so, but I was super overweight. Again, I'm like, let's have a baby. Got pregnant. And there we are. And I never stopped eating red meat. I never had I love tacos. carne asada. I love hamburgers. And so it's just interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nelson. It's just interesting for me that his point that like being overweight isn't the problem. It's the other physical problems that might be like as a result of eating a terrible diet that make it a problem. Does that make sense? Like it's the terrible foods that we're eating, not the fact that you have extra fat on your body. There you go. Yes. That's right, Mike. Dr. Nelson Vasquez, where are you in the world? And do you speak Spanish? These are my questions. Let me know in the chat. All right, I've taken up all of your time.
Well, no, you're good. We want you to stick around for a little bit yet. I know.
Okay.
I want a chance to ask Brian and Aaron this question. We'll start with you, Aaron. Health and weight loss success and how diet makes all the difference. What has it done for you? Aaron, go ahead and talk about what it's all done for you.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I lost weight before in the past, and Alia, I understand exactly what you say about. I was close to 200 pounds and I'm 5'2". So
oh, wow.
I completely get it. And when I had my daughter, I was 200 pounds. So I get where you're coming from with all of that. Yeah. When I revamped everything this last time, and you guys know I had to because I was diagnosed with celiac disease, and I just had to fix everything and make sure that I don't develop anything else and whatnot. Just my whole life changed just from the way that I was eating. I mean, it wasn't just about losing weight, and that wasn't my goal. It was about how I felt, mentally and physically. Like I've said it again and again, like my whole mental state, I feel changed dramatically, like shortly after I changed my diet. The anxiety was gone. I could do stuff like this where, like Alia said before, like you didn't want to get in front of a camera. Now I feel good. I either don't care what people think or, I'm confident again, whatever it is, something has changed. And then, you have these little things creep up on you that you don't even realize are connected to what you're eating. Like when we talked about the menstrual issues and, the little aches and pains that you think are associated with getting older and they're not. I don't buy that as an excuse anymore. Like, oh, it's normal. You're older. No. We're not doing that anymore. So I'm just so passionate about the fact that you truly are what you eat. If you put garbage in your body, you're going to feel like garbage, and that's it. So, eat the right stuff, and everything else will come along.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Bueno, cool. Yo hablar español también, pero escucho muy gringo.
I don't know what she said, but okay.
I speak Spanish also, but I sound like a gringo.
Maybe the gringo part. That's all that I got.
Brian, how about you on this one? And before you answer, I just want to remind the viewers, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them, put a Q in front of them. We'll try to answer them as a panel as they come up. But go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. So I don't want to sound like a broken record, but something that has been huge for me is like the health side of things, like with my heart and that, like the AFib. Again, I talk about I had AFib and I was having 2 to 3 episodes a week. And within the first month on carnivore, that went away. And, I'm over 18 months now on the carnivore diet. I haven't had a single episode. That's huge for me. I'm off the medications that I was on for it. So that's life-changing for me. I've lost over 80 pounds. So, there's a good weight loss there. Everybody says it, the mental clarity, that's huge. That just so many things with where I did not ever want to do anything and just wasn't necessarily a happy person, and that's just totally different now, right? Like I like going out and doing things now. I go out a lot of times with my wife. We'll go shopping and stuff. Like, I mean, that's funny for me to say because I used to be like, I never want to go shopping. Why would I want to go shopping? But I'll go and do that now, Yeah, it's just things are so different, you know, the mindset, the attitude is just completely different.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to say for myself, I did a video earlier this week about it, pretty much, and I had a whole list of stuff. If you haven't watched the video, make sure you check it out. But, you know, basically I talked about how a low carb diet changed my life, and, you know, probably the number one thing, and I'm not going to share all this because like I said, you can go check out the video. I got a whole list of things that made a difference in my life. You know, it's one of those things. Yes, I lost over 100 pounds, which is amazing. But the biggest thing for me is I got my life back. I was disabled last January. I couldn't work. I couldn't hardly walk. I'm working full time now. I have my life back. I have a future. That's what diet has done for me, and doing a low carb, keto, carnivore, type diet, because I've done them all and they all work. They all are amazing. You got to do what works for you. Keto probably works the best for me. I seem to stay on track better. I tend to lose more weight that way, but that's what works for me. And that's what I want to say to anybody out, you know, as a viewer. Find what works for you and keep working it. Keep beating the drum until you get to the results you want and where you want to be. And you know, like I said, this is life changing stuff. It's a lifestyle change. Don't look at it as a diet. It's totally a lifestyle change, and it'll change your life. It changed my life immensely this last year. So I can't complain about that at all. So there is a couple questions here that did come up here, and we'll get to those here. Let's see here. Here's a question. Are the holidays the biggest challenges to stay on plan? Why don't we start with you, Alia, on that one?
That was hard. Yeah, because and I just you regret it every time. The pains come back, the insomnia comes back, the stomach ache comes back. Just, you know, it's hard to stay on plan when you're going somewhere else. Like I don't know, if I were to do it again, I would just make sure I had like a lot of cooked bacon available in like little baggies all over the place. So like if people are eating whatever, you just start nibbling on bacon so you can still feel like part of it. But surprisingly, on New Year's Eve, I ate we did steak like a fire clay oven at the finca, at the farm, at the cabin that I'm moving to. And we did like chicharron, pork belly, and that was delicious. But then I had whiskey and guacamole, and that was just a bad combination. If you want to stay on plan. And I think just plan ahead is the best advice, and have your ducks in a row. Rick will prepare the ducks and iguanas. Have your ducks in a row.
How about you, Aaron?
Well, the same thing that Alia just said is like, you really do need to plan ahead. I always have to plan ahead because I have to bring a lot of my own food with my personal issues. So I guess I'm a little differently. It wasn't that hard for me because there's so much that I can't eat to begin with that it's like, you know, and it's just that feeling better is more important than doing like the stuff. Like I'll eat something for 2 seconds and then I'm going to feel like crap the next morning. I just kind of like got to that point. But I did have a couple of things. I had a couple like gluten-free cookies, and I had some rice that kind of blew me up. I wasn't expecting that. I was very like swollen and achy the next day. So yeah, it's not horrible, but you know, you definitely have some challenges for sure.
Sure. How about you, Brian?
I would definitely say that holidays are some of the biggest challenges. You know, especially if you're going to have a gathering and like Christmas, Thanksgiving, that kind of stuff, right? Like, even if for me, like, even if it's just like the immediate family coming back together, you know, you still got 6, 7 people, whatever. And in my case, at least, I'm the only one that's eating this way. So everybody else is going to be eating all the other stuff. So all that stuff is there that I don't usually get tempted that much by because they're not even there. And then again, I'm the type of person that if I eat something that I shouldn't, it'll start cravings again. So I have to just kind of stay away from it. So yeah, for me, holidays are probably the biggest challenges. And the best thing for me, at least, is to just stay away from eating those foods, and
Yeah.
I should be okay.
I was going to say for myself, I want to say the holidays are not as big a challenge. And the reason being is I know it's coming. To me, what has been the biggest challenge is this month is now that I'm back at work, I tend to get a little stressed. I'm a former stress eater, sugar addict. And I find that if I get a little stressed, guess what? I tend to lean on the sugar. So I find that like right now is harder for me than the holidays. Just for the fact that, I tend to be a stress eater. So I have to be really careful, and you never know when that stressor is going to hit. Where like the holidays, it's coming. You can kind of plan ahead, where all of a sudden, say you get really stressed, and then all of a sudden you see the chocolate bars or the sugar in front of you, or someone bakes cookies and brings to work, and you're like, oh, shoot.
Sure. That's when you need the bags of cooked bacon.
Yeah, exactly. So I find that those incidents are much tougher for me, I guess. So, but we do have another question. A few days after starting carnivore, I started getting strange heart pains. Now I get them after I eat. Is this a normal side effect when you're new to carnivore/keto?
I hope Dr. Nelson can answer that question
really.
in the comments, because I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to give any advice about people's heart pains.
No, I mean, God, definitely get that checked out. If nothing else, it'll give you a peace of mind that it's not actually your heart. Because I've been through that stuff before. So no, go to your doctor.
Brian, do you have any experience with that? I know you had AFib, but maybe if anybody had maybe seen that, it would be you, or if there's.
No, I mean, I would say that's not a normal side effect. I've never experienced that. I mean, and it's hard to say. I mean, it could be something heart related, but it could be heartburn or something like that. But then again, when you're just eating meat, you typically don't get heartburn. So I don't know. I would definitely suggest having it checked out just to be safe.
Yep, I think that would be wise for sure. Sorry guys, I'm just going to put up a couple comments that were here. Most of you probably seen them. Hello, Johnny. How are you tonight? Nice to see you. Some of these are probably from ways back, but I wanted to kind of get some of them up here anyways. Electrolytes, possibly, for I'm assuming Mike's talking about the heart stuff there. Yes, smash the like button. We love that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going on to everybody's channels right now on my phone, and I'm just making sure that smash the like and
yes, that's always good.
Leave that comment everywhere.
Greg, going back to Mike's comment there about the electrolytes, if you are deficient in things like magnesium, potassium, which are electrolytes, you could be having some skipped heartbeats, and maybe you're noticing that and thinking heart pain. So again, though, that's something you want to get checked out, because you want to know if you're deficient, so that you know that you are going to take enough electrolytes. But at the same time, you also want to make sure that you're not good with your electrolytes and take too much electrolytes, because that can be a problem too. So again, it kind of goes back to getting things checked out. And I know some people that do this type of a diet aren't very big about doing blood work, but I like to get blood work done a lot, just because I like to see where I'm at and make sure that I don't have something that I'm deficient or getting too much of or whatever. So definitely, that's what I say. Get it checked out.
I just wanted to go back and congratulate Salty Texas Ranger. Finally hit the 100-pound lost.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Congratulations.
That's
good job.
Some awesome success. Yeah. So great job. Oh, Johnny, let's see. Yep, he's recommending that. Dr. Nelson saying have it checked for the heart. It's common to feel palpitations. Most of the time is a stronger heart contraction. Some studies show that the heart prefers ketones. So thanks. That's a great answer here. Let's see here. Awesome. If you have any questions, go ahead and put a Q in front of them. We'll be happy to answer them here as well. And like
I think there
Alia
was
said earlier,
another.
smash the like button.
I thought there was another question. Did you?
It
I
could
think there
be.
was.
There's quite a few popping in here. If I missed
There's
it,
a lot of comments going on, so it's hard to
there
find.
is. I'm
Thought I
having a hard
saw
time keeping
another
up.
one. Let me go back and see if I. Yeah, here we go.
What time?
8:06 p.m. So it'll be 7:06 your time. There's a question from Angie.
Was
Oh,
it
there it is.
this one?
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Question: in 100, I'm 100 days in, 42 pounds down. I eat bacon,
Awesome.
ribeye, salt, butter, chicken, pork. So everything I get warm. My temperature rises. I feel hives on my back. Is this oxalate dumping?
I don't know about oxalate dumping. Hives, I don't know. I don't know what the pigs are eating. I don't I don't know. But we're supposed to be like warm. And if like me, I have a thyroid condition. And I'm gonna be doing extra tests soon to find out if it's Hashimoto's, but I do have a thyroid condition. But you can feel cold. And if you've been eating the wrong foods for such a long time, or high soy foods, for instance, that could damage your thyroid and mess with your temperature. So I think if your temperature is raising and you don't have a fever, it's probably your body trying to adjust. I'm not a doctor. I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
We should be warm and not cold.
The other thing that I was thinking with that, only because I've gone through it before, if you have a sensitivity to like histamines or histamine intolerance, sometimes the meat that's aged more is high in histamines, the bacon can be high in histamines, and that could certainly, not a doctor, again, but just from personal experience, can cause you hives and feeling hot and itchy and all that fun stuff. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say the hives kind of sound to me like it could be allergy related. So I would even suggest doing the ultimate restriction, go to like beef, salt, water. If you don't have hives from that, then slowly reintroduce some of those other things until you start noticing the hives again, and then you know what it is you might have an allergy to. It could be the butter or something. There could be something pork related. Who knows?
I don't know if I'm going to KetoCon. I definitely love the idea of going to KetoCon, but I'll find out sooner, closer. I know Carrie and Adam are going to KetoCon.
Is that the one in Austin?
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta go. I love Texas. It's the only other place I'd move back to in the U.S. is not Austin. I'd probably go to Dallas. I think this question's for me. And I don't know what you mean by marketing down there. What do you mean by marketing? Like is veganism being pushed? Is that what you mean? That type of marketing? No, that's not really anything I see, but I don't watch a lot of TV in Spanish. So, but I don't see any of that. People love their steaks here. People love steaks. You can go, like I can go to the shopping mall that's the closest to me. And in the food court, you'll find like 3 to 4 steak restaurants, like at a fast food, like fast food steaks, where they're just cooked on a grill for you. So I think that's what you mean. Yes, there's lots of cattle down here. The steak is delicious. They are really bad at ground beef, though. I have not found any good ground beef. So when I was at home and I went to Costco, I'm like, this ground beef tastes amazing. The Costco ground beef.
You know, it's kind of funny, but right now I have a hard time eating ground beef. I love steak. It's like I just can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I can't season it enough if I'm eating ground beef. It just doesn't work for me anymore.
Yeah,
I used to love it, but
my son he's 7, and sometimes he's like he wants ground beef with sauteed onions, and I prefer that than like, where's my donut?
yeah, really. Yeah. So Alia, is it like a lot of grass-fed beef down there? Like
I have
you get
no
in
idea.
other parts of South America?
Literally have no idea. All I know is that it's a funny story. So when I visited home, my mom, she was vegan for a very long time. And actually, since I've been carnivore, she's gone like vegetarian, pescatarian. So it's in the right direction. And she says she feels physically a lot better. So the reason I bring this up is she bought me some like grass-fed, humanely raised, I don't know, whatever. Maybe it wasn't humanely raised, but she wanted to do the best for me and the best in her mind. Because she knows that I eat beef, and she's not going to stop me, but she wants to feel good in her mind, I guess is why she bought it. I tried it. I'm like, Mom, this stuff is disgusting.
Oh.
I'm like, this doesn't taste good at all. It was like grass-fed ground beef. I don't know. So I have no idea if it's grass-fed or not, but it tastes good. That's all I know. And that was the first thing I noticed when I came here. I'm like, the meat tastes like in a cheeseburger. Like one of the first days I came to Columbia 8 years ago, I'm like, this cheeseburger tastes so different. The meat is better. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, Angie answered at 8:19 Eastern, I guess 7:19 somewhere. I'm not warm all the time. I feel hives. Oh, I'm warm all the time. I feel hives when I get too warm. It feels like pores are opening, but it feels like hives. Oh, that sounds like an allergic reaction or a history and a response.
It could be. Here's another question. We keep getting vegan diets thrown at us. Netflix just released a very biased show. Why are we not seeing more low-carb, keto, carnivore documentaries? That's a good question, Brad.
Okay, so someone in my life was watching a documentary that was vegetarian-based that was sent to him, I think, because I'm doing carnivore, and somebody sent it to him. But I'm like, did they just literally compare people eating meat to child molesters? Literally, that's what they did. Like they compared, and I'm like, this is disgusting and biased and has no correlation. Like it didn't say it that directly. It was more insidious. And I'm like, I can't believe they just said that. Now, I've tried to re-listen to that multiple times to change my mind if that's what they said, but that's what they said. It's very biased. Brad, hi, my name is Alia. I don't know if you know Carrie at Homestead How, but we're literally making a documentary showing like carnivore results and people changing their lives with carnivore. And I honestly have no problem with people if they want to eat like a whole foods diet and they feel good about being vegan and in their heart of hearts, they don't want to hurt an animal. That's like one thing. Like, how can I tell somebody if in their mind they feel really bad about eating an animal? I'm not going to make them feel guilty, but all the propaganda, it's not healthy. It's just not healthy in the long run. So that's my thoughts on it. But
is this documentary going to be on Netflix, or do you know by chance?
I know that we're trying to get in touch with Angel Studios, and the idea is to try to get it on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that. Whoever will take it. And I don't think Netflix is really biased. I think they just want content that people are going to watch. You got to keep people watching. So there you go.
So Greg, can I take a stab at Brad's question?
Yeah, you sure can.
I'm sorry. I took over your show, right? It just happened every time you have me on.
I'll try not to get us blocked or anything here.
Like I will.
So, here's part of the thing. When you look at like carnivore related diets or low carb diets, right? You don't have big funding from like pharmaceuticals and so forth, right? Because we're actually getting off of medications, and we're not eating like all those sugary foods, those processed foods. So they're not making money, so they're not going to fund that. So it has to be a grassroots type of effort, like what Alia is talking about with Carrie's project, right? It's a grassroots type of funding effort, and that's great. But the problem is you're not going to see as much of that. They're going to push funding to things that are going to be like, and I don't mean this in a bad way towards vegan diet, but vegan diet, they're going to get a lot of funding from, for instance, like places that do vitamins and so forth, because you need to take a lot of vitamins when you're on a vegan diet, right? So they're going to be able to get funding from different places, and you're going to get more of that push to places like Netflix. Kind of like Alia said, Netflix isn't that they're necessarily biased, but they're not getting pushed or getting, not the word push, but they're not getting proposed so many different shows for carnivore and so forth, because they're not really happening, because they're not getting the funding. It has to be more of a grassroots effort. You're not getting Nestle company and the other, like big pharma and so forth funding their shows, because they're not going to make money from that.
Right. Exactly. That's interesting. Yeah, because you need a company to make meat that's fake. And they need to get be promoted.
If you don't want to eat meat, just don't eat the meat. Why would you want to eat something that's imitation, pretending to be? I do not get that whole thing. Just like blows my
You,
mind.
you know what's funny is I mentioned that to somebody that just eats like a regular standard diet like a week or so ago. I was like, well, why do you want to make fake meat then if you don't eat that, right? And they go, well, because it tastes good. I'm like,
How could that taste
well,
good?
maybe that's telling you something though. If meat tastes good, so you want to try and make something that has that meat taste because
Oh,
the
they're
food
not
that
saying
you're
it
eating. Yeah,
tastes
no,
good.
they're saying because you wanted to replicate the meat because meat
Then eat
tastes
the
good.
meat.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
don't.
Well, but meat's bad for you.
But
Or
fake
I
meat's
think
good
there's
for you.
conversation, we're gonna go anywhere, so I'll just stop
But a
now.
meat that's made of 80 chemicals is good for you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
fake
just
meat?
so funny.
Yeah.
So crazy.
It's maybe a little bit of conditioning or mind conditioning too. Trying to get people to change their ways or think, hey, this is the end thing. This is what you need to do. Kind of like the vegan diet. This is what you need to do. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, making all that processed fake meat isn't as bad for the environment as when we kill a cow or something.
Knowing cows fart. Cow farts. Right there outside my window, a little bit away, maybe half a block away, there's like 4 cows. I never smell their farts. But the grass is crazy. I don't know what type of grass it is, and it's not all over where they eat. It's not like this. It's like different types of grass, but they're like one section has this grass, and it's like feet tall.
Beautiful.
It's so tall, and they're just chowing down on it. And I think someone comes and cuts it, and then months later, it's huge again. And I think it's because they're eating, grazing, pooping, like regeneratively. What is it called? Regenerative farming.
We've got just a few more minutes left, but I wanted to mention a couple of things. Next week, we have a special guest with us. Nicole, former fat girl, will be on the show Thursday night. So tune in for her. She'll be on. So that'll be awesome. And of course, last week, I know Allison was on the show earlier. Allison Johnson, lovely guest. She had an amazing story.
Awesome.
Make sure you check that out. And of course, Alia Wells, thank you for coming on tonight. It's
Sure.
awesome
Thank
having
you.
you here. But before you go, I just was going to ask Aaron, did you want to share your quote that you found today or that you saw today? I don't have anything typed up, but you can share it. I think
Here, let me pull this up because I thought this was really cool, and I think it's apropos to a lot of us. So I was doing my usual Instagram scrolling. I was doing my usual Instagram scrolling this morning, and I follow like a lot of motivational, like mindset type content. And one of the places that I follow came up with this meme, and it says, "One day you will understand why things had to unfold the way they did and why the lessons you learned along the way were key to you stepping into your highest self." And some of you might just like, it might resonate immediately because I just feel like for me, especially, and I'm sure others can relate, that I would not be at this place that I am, like health wise and whatnot, if I hadn't had to go through all of this crazy stuff leading up to it. Like, you have to go through things to appreciate things and be able to actually do things to, make your health better and your life better. So I just thought that was a really great like quote when I saw that.
Nice. Thank you.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. But Alia, I'll give you some just final parting thoughts. Anything that you want to say or promote or whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for having me. Eat steak, be happy, live life. Stop watching so much TV, but watch your favorite YouTubers. I just feel like, getting all the crap out of my body, I'm able to enjoy things so much more. And I think other people need to be able to experience that same thing. And I hope that they do. And I hope our live streams and videos inspire people to at least try it and to see that there's something better. There's a better level of existence that we can all enjoy.
Yeah. No, thank you again for coming on. And Brian, we'll let you I'll have you go in front of Aaron. Brad was giving us a hard time for last week. So like, okay, Brian, you can go before Aaron.
Wow, you put me on the spot here. I didn't know.
I love doing that, by the way.
At the end here. I guess so. I don't know why, but this popped in my head tonight while we've been doing this live stream show. But like, I remember when I first started doing Carnivore, one of the cool things out, because I've always been like the type of person that likes to eat meat, likes to eat steak, and so forth, right? So I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me I can eat steak every day? Yeah, I'm gonna try this. And here I am, more than 18 months later. I've healed like so many health issues. I've lost weight. I feel great. I feel better than I have in years and years. I just turned 50 like a couple of weeks ago, and I feel like I did like when I was like 30 or maybe even younger than that, right? I feel great. And it's from eating steak all the time. That's all I'm gonna say.
You look great. You told me how old you were once,
Thank
but
you.
Looking 50, saying that you're 50, you don't look 50.
Thank
And you don't seem like the average 50-year-old. It's probably all the steak. Okay, I'll shut up now.
You know, when he has the goatee shaved, he kind of looks like the Gerber baby a little bit. His face is turning red there a little bit.
Ooh,
It's
letting
the
you
lighting in here.
Go ahead, Aaron. What are your parting words, or what do you want to say?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I wasn't prepared for parting words. I said my parting meme.
That works.
I don't know. Okay, takeaways. Garbage in, garbage out. How's that?
Hey, that works. I think that's great advice. And I guess with my parting words, I just want to thank everybody for coming in and watching tonight. Well, even if you're watching the replay, thank you. And if you're out on there on Spotify, listen to the podcast, we appreciate you. And just wanted to give Alia's channel one more plug here. She can be found on YouTube at Alia Wells, ALIAWELLS.
Very simple. It's just my name.
So you can find her there, and we appreciate having you on. It was a good
thank you.
time, and maybe down the road we'll have you on again, or at least get together and do a live or something. That'd be kind of
and eventually we'll get together, Greg.
yeah. We've been meaning to do that for a long time. We'll have to get that done, but I just want to thank everybody again for coming on, and we'll see you next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. And God bless you, my friends. Take care. We'll see you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.